you would not believe how easy they're coming out. I probably just cursed myself. I'm sure I just cursed myself, but watch, I haven't touched this one yet. Just no problem. Hopefully they all come that easy. So far so good. Got everything off underneath. You got one side manifold off. Had to cut that vacuum dash pot thing off to get it out of there. This side was pretty easy. The other side is not going to be as easy. All the air conditioning and heater hoses are right on top of it. Some of those are hard, so they don't really move very well. So I'm going to tear into it and get this side off too. Hopefully it comes off as easy as the other side. Next up, let's install the headers. Got everything, all the old stuff off. Ended up ripping the EGR system off as well. I still have to get the plugs in the back of the heads. That might be a little bit of a challenge, but I went and got some bolts that should fit in there. So, I also got some new hardware for the headers, new gaskets. So, here we go. Alright, so I'm going to stop and give a little update for everybody. I got the headers on. They went on easy. No problems at all. Everything's good there. So I thought I'd throw on that X pipe. Grabbed it. Went to set it up on there. And I think it's for a different year car. It doesn't fit at all. Oh yeah, I also put the double hump cross member on. That went on easy. No issues. So I grabbed the other X pipe that's got the cats in it. And kind of struggling here a little bit. I think I'm going to have to delete that crossover parking brake cable. That's going to be in the way, but that's not a big deal. The big issue I've got, or bigger issue, is that this, where's it at? That bracket right there for the shift cable is making hard contact with the cat. So I'm going to have to take this pipe back down and see if I can come up with a way to reposition that bracket so it doesn't hit. This cat's got to go up a couple inches right now. Alright, so I guess come back off and see how that bracket can get modified. Well, this must be the point of the project where frustration sets in. I had a delusion that all these parts would just fit right together and everything would be great, but that's not what's happening. So I got that shift bracket out of the way, and now the cats are hitting the transmission pan hard. Those cats just can't be right there with that pan. Just keeping everything else down way too far. It's just not going to fit. With those cats, everything's got to come up a mile or 3 or 4 inches. So I'm going to go clean up, have a beer, do some internet sleuthing, and look for answers. Back out here Sunday morning to come out and keep working on the exhaust. I topped off the water yesterday, and look what I walked out to find this morning. So I guess it does need a water pump. I think I'm just going to run to O'Reilly's and go grab one and do that. And keep thinking about the exhaust. That's going to be a mess back there. I ran down to O'Reilly's to go get a water pump. They don't even list one for this car. I can't hardly believe that. They probably just don't have this oddball thing in their system. So I'm going to yank it off, go back. Finally, a little bit of progress tonight. Going back together with something. I've been waiting or looking for almost 2 weeks for the right water pump for this thing. Finally managed to find one online and got it ordered in O'Reilly's. Sold me 2 different ones. Both were wrong. Wasn't a big deal, but I wanted the right thing. They had the wrong size fittings in there for the heater hoses. They couldn't come up with one that had the big fitting here. So I got this one from O'Reilly's, from Advanced Auto Parts. It actually came in a CarQuest box. Here's the right part number. Everything fit good. So it's going back together. So somehow putting the exhaust on has led to this. It's actually taken me about a week and a half to get back to this point. While the exhaust was off, I thought I'd replace the shift shaft seal in here, which took a couple days to come in at O'Reilly's. Got that, tore it apart, found out there was 2 seals there. Second seal O'Reilly's couldn't find. I had to order it off the internet. And that took a couple more days to come in. I ran back to O'Reilly's to get a trans filter. They don't stock trans filters for AODs anymore apparently, so that took a couple days. So finally I'm putting it all together, and then I just found out that a couple of the screws are stripped. So I had to buy a helicoil kit. So hopefully today I'm going to get this all back together and finally get back to what I'm trying to do, which is install this exhaust system. Alright, finally a video that shows a little bit of progress instead of problems. I pretty much stopped making videos here the last week while I've been working on this thing. I'm sick of it being in the garage, needed to make some progress. So here's what I've got. I've got the Jags H-pipe. That fit good. Got the cross member in there. I had to grind it a little bit to let the transmission come back. Got the fuel pump and fuel filter repositioned. The fuel pump I spun around the corner and put here, and then the fuel filter I followed some other advice I found online and moved it up under the hood. That wasn't too bad. Had to deal with those hard plastic push-on fuel lines. Did have to put an extra 6 inches in the pipe because of the wheelbase length difference. That wasn't too bad, just a couple pieces from O'Reilly, extended that back. Probably I gave up on tailpipes. The tailpipes I had, both sets of them, weren't going to fit right. They were going to be too short, just wasn't going to work. So I made some little turn down dump tubes today, and we're going to hear what those sound like here in a second. I haven't actually started it since I put the turn downs on it. So let's fire it up. One quick thing before I back it outside for a test drive, I wanted to show where I put the fuel filter. So I just took the 90 degree off the fuel rail, put the fuel filter on there. It's actually a fuel filter, I think, off a later model Cobra or GT. And then just made a little extension line here using some generic parts from O'Reilly's. Let's go for a ride. Wrap up this video here. So I've got the car running, driving pretty good. New alternator, new water pump, exhaust, rear pinion seal, tranny fluid, transmission filter. What else? Wheels and tires, or I found a new set of pony wheels with good tires on them. So the thing actually drives really nice now. But I've decided I've got it listed for sale now. We'll see if anybody is interested in this. Yeah, it's got some rust issues, but it's really a pretty solid car. Relatively low